Hey there, my name is Mac. I'm going to be talking about some ways in which I've homebrewed aspects of the existing Forgotten Realms lore and characters and how those manifest in my game. I DM a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign. We are playing the module Lost Mine of Phandelver. This particular topic has not come into play yet. They've met a cleric of this deity, but nothing story-wise has pertained to it. I'm talking of Kelemvor, the current god of death in the existing Toriel timeline, if we'll say. Kelemvor is a particularly interesting figure to me. Mortals ascending to godhood is a tricky topic, in my opinion, and it's a fine line to balance, I guess, the contrast between various rankings of deities. Kelemvor was a human mercenary, and personally, I have homebrewed this aspect of his godhood. I'm going to read a selection from the Forgotten Realms Wikipedia. Kelemvor wondered how he could judge the damned when he himself failed his own personal judgment. He gradually came to realize that there was nothing human in being a god. To correct his mistakes, great changes were undergone in his realm as well as in himself. The city of the dead was changed to a gray world, not truly light, not truly dark, simply dull gray. Gone was good and evil in the city, only indifference and silence remained. The once diamond-like crystal spire, was also smoked the color of topaz. Kelemvor also rid himself of all signs of humanity in order to properly fulfill his duties, which meant replacing the warrior-like human he used to assume with a darkly robed figure. His raven-black hair turned to silver, his eyes became pupilless, his appearance aged, his armor tattered in black, and he donned a silver death mask. I have contention with that just because of the background of Kelemvor as a human. I think there is humanity in godhood. Godhood sometimes is depicted as this kind of apathetic disdain for humanity. And I think Kelemvor is a great example of the ways in which being a human can improve your standing or your reputation as a god, even your performance. I return to an earlier part of the Forgotten Realms wiki. Kelemvor, however, was more lenient on those faithless and false who were virtuous and honorable in life, while the ones who were cowardly or capricious were severely punished. Those souls judged as noble were sent to the then merrier and heaven-like parts in the City of Death, such as the Singing City or Pax Cloister, while for thieves and cowards there were hell-like parts of the city, such as the acid swamps. It does go on to say, I'll read this as well. As a result, honorable and brave mortals no longer feared death and recklessly threw their lives away, trusting in Kelemvor's judgment rather than in benevolent gods. The cowardly and crafty mortals became too fearful to do much, lest they die and find themselves before Kelemvor. This, in combination with Mistra's unjust granting of magic, favoring only those who were good, brought unintentional imbalance and robbed the other deities of potential worshippers. Being exposed by Cyric, Kelemvor and Mistra were accused by the circle of greater gods of being guilty of incompetence by humanity. I cite that to say that's a little ridiculous in my opinion. I do not disagree with the idea that gods would commune with mortals. I do disagree with the fact that their plans and their executions of the ways things happen in the City of the Dead, would occur would not be laid out so plainly. I don't think it would be so easy as if you live an honest and virtuous life, you know that you're fine. I think there's an element of fear in death intrinsically, and I think Kelemvor doesn't shy away from that. Kelemvor, in my perception, welcomes death as a simple part of life and is just there to help those with that transition. This is a personal thing, but I think the punishing of those who are not honorable, who do not do good in their lives, is a necessity and is a good thing to do in the City of the Dead. While those who selflessly act and take care of others in their lives should have an easier time, I suppose, in this city of the dead. Again, that's not to say I disagree. Nitpicking, I disagree with thieves. Thieves usually steal because of an imbalance with power and not necessarily because of an inherent desire to do crime, as is so polarized in past editions of Dungeons and Dragons. So in my eyes, Kelemvor is a fair and just ruler of the dead, in strong contrast with Markle and Jurgle, who were feared by many mortals because of their wanton evil. They performed evil acts, and death was feared for its inherent patron. I think Kelemvor is a good shining light. It's interesting to me that he keeps Jurgle as his, I forget what the position is assigned to him. He keeps Jurgle as essentially an assistant. I think that's very interesting. But it's interesting to me how I think aspects of these are realistic. Aspects of the story are realistic. However, I personally have changed those in my world. Again, that's a great way in which homebrew is totally up to you and is totally easily incorporated. No clerics in the current party I have. Nobody looking to seeking to worship any divine deity. But this kind of larger character that still is in the background, I thought it important to flesh him out, as death would likely be an important part of any Dungeons and Dragons campaign. Yeah. I'll hope to make more videos like these in the future. I'm sorry if I rambled. I'm not necessarily going off a script, just kind of feeling out how I feel about the topic. And I think, obviously, there is some bias here because I think that death is a cool subject to explore in fiction. And I personally feel a draw to Kelemvor as an interesting character. I hope you liked this video, and I'll hope to make more in the future. Thank you for watching.